Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
So with Adventureland, we do have a pretty good box cover here with some warriors. We got a female warrior that's completely dressed, which is nice. We get some instruction manuals in 2 different languages, depending on what side you want. The rules are a little hefty for a family game, but once you kind of get through them, you realize how simple it is. There's a little quick reference or cheat sheet. Because the book is one side a different language, it couldn't be on the back of it. So you have to kind of, just bend the spine if you want to. You're going to get 3 adventures that kind of score: the Fellowship, the Magnificent, and Escape to the Cities. And depending on how, it really just affects scoring and how the game is played. So each one will be a little bit different. You're going to get a board, which I'll show you in a second. Here is the wooden river sprite. You're going to get some tiles that represent the swords. You're going to get some companion meeples. They're all gray. You're going to get a deck of cards, which are pretty nice. Now, you're going to get some 6-sided die that will be used in the game. They're big and chunky and wooden. Now, these containers don't come in the game. These are mine. I get these at the dollar store, but here are the fog monsters that you'll have. And then each of these will hold some gold. Here are yellow components, black components for the player, purple and green, and then some grass that you'll get in the game. You can see the pictures inside the box. This probably isn't all that helpful, but let's get the game set up and kind of see where we're going to go with this. And you can see the board is very beautiful. It's a really beautiful board, and it's really just a grid. So you're going to have some letters up here at the top and numbers at the bottom. It's really a spreadsheet, but it's beautiful. But what's really nice about it, which I find fascinating, is that when the companions come out, they will always be on these city spots. So it's just beautiful the way it is. And the swords will be found in the mountain regions, and the grass, the plant stuff you find will be where the forest is, and the gold will always be found in the river. And I just find that really neat the way they drew that. It's just a small cool little feature to that. So let's set it up and show you how to play. So I'm just going to set this up with just one set of tiles, or one set of companions. But when you set the game up, you would put your guys around here. If you're playing a certain number of players, these won't be here. But I'm just going to kind of show you how it works. But if the second or third player was here, they'd be also in the same starting position. In addition, you'll just take the big deck of cards you have, you'll smash them all together, and you're going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, and you'll put these little goodies out just to set the game up. And you'll see the little companion, so you'll bring him out, and he'll come over here in the city. A4, which we'll put one of these green ones out. Now I'm just putting these cards in the middle of the table just to kind of show you where they would go. And you can see the companion comes out, and he's going to come out on a city space, which is really neat. D1, and you just put a little tile there. F4, H2, F5, and C8. And I knew it was here without even looking because it was a C, and that's the only river spot on C, and I'll put the river sprite on top of him. And these cards that we use to set up will be discarded for the rest of the game and not needed. On your turn, what you're going to do each turn is flip over 2 terrain cards and then set up the board. So G3 is a mountain. And then we have E7 for the other one, which I knew had to be there. You easily tell once you kind of get the hang of it because it was the only plant in the E. Those cards are discards. So on my turn, I can move my adventures. What I can do is I can move as far as I want this way or down. I can never move up and back. So I can move them as far as I want to utilize the space that I want. So let's say I go right here to A4, so I want to move this guy, and I'm going to be able to take this. This gives me 4 plant. So I'll set that aside. I can move the same guy again if I wanted to. Or I can just go here and maybe take this spot right here, which gives me 2. So let's pretend like the other player went. It came back around to my turn. And I'm going to put this out, an F2. So another sword will enter the board. So I drew an F2, which will put a sword out on the board. and a J7, which will bring a baddie out. And you can tell that the baddie will always go on the fog spaces, which is really neat. So let me talk about how fighting is going to go. So let's say I went over here and I grabbed this companion. The first companion you grab is always 1 victory point. If this adventurer who has one picks up a second one, the second one's worth 2, the third one's worth 3 and 4. That's not for all of your players, so that would be 1 victory point. If this guy came over here and grabbed a companion, this would be his first companion, so you would get 1 victory point. So it's not 2 because this guy got 1, it's 1. It depends on this individual meeple, how many companions that they have. But when you go to fight somebody, let's say I got over here to fight this 10. And just to make it easy, I'm going to put this in your view. So you can tell he has a power of 10. So each adventurer that I have there, which is 1, is worth 1 power. I'm trying to get to 10. The companion is worth 1. Now, if I had a sword, for each sword I give up, I can roll a 6-sided die. And I have to make a decision of how many swords. I can use up to 3, how many I have. Now this one, whatever my die roll is, I get to add 2 to it. So I know I'm going to add 2. So I would roll this. So I have 1 for my guy, 1 for this, that's 2. Plus 4 is 6. Plus 2, because there's a 2 printed on that sword, and these have like 0, 1, 2, and 3 on them. I'm at 8. So now what I could do is I could use an herb and give this up, which is worth 2 victory or 2 power, and that would give me the 10 that I need. If I didn't have that, I could use my gold, and the gold allows me to do one of 2 things. They're worth 1 level of strength in a battle, so I could give this up and add 1 to my strength, or I can give up one of these and re-roll my dice if I didn't like the result that I got. So these can be either a re-roll or they can be 1 power and strength. The interesting thing about this gold also is that when a new gold comes out, make sure you can see this, when a new gold comes out, the river sprite will move down it. If I happen to have a guy on the river when he moves, this guy will be moved from the board and he will go down. So this river sprite will be continually moving up and down the river. So if you get stuck here, you want to be careful because they can definitely take your guys off the board. And you may be done with them, so that might be okay, or maybe not. It might be a powerful figure for you. But let's talk about the adventures that you get in the game. So the first one is the Fellowship, and this is not any spoilers. So the aim of this game is to fight creatures, collect gold, and have as many companions on yours. So you're going to get victory points for defeating the fall creatures. You're going to get victory points for having the companions, and you're going to get victory points for gold. And I'll tell you how the final scoring is. In Adventure 2, the Magnificent, you're fighting fall creatures, collecting gold, herbs, and swords, and gathering adventurers for your companions. So in this one, all victory points are awarded in the game, and they're awarded for the remaining tiles or figures. Defeated fall creature receives the combat strength of the fall creature. Only the largest group of a player is scored. Multiply the whole group by 3. These are victory points awarded for the Magnificent, 2 victory points for gold, and you get victory points for herbs and sword tiles. Escape to the City. So you're going to get points for defeating fall creatures. Whoever has defeated the most will get victory points, and then for gold, additional scoring. But importance, each of the 5 cities, 12, 6, 5, 4, and 3, is scored individually at the end of the game. Whoever has the most adventurers in each city receives victory points. So these cities that are on the board, you want to try to get as many people stuck in these as possible to score victory points. So that's what these adventures are really going to do. Are they just different ways to score different kinds of points and how the game will play out and the strategies that you may have. So, just to reiterate really quickly, you can move your guys to the right and down. You can never move them up or left. And there's a few things going on and just really collecting victory points. It's a great adventure game for the family. Adventureland is an adventure game for the family. This is a lighter game. You're not going to dump your kids into the middle of Descent. You want to start them out on a game like this. So if you're used to playing Labyrinth or Magical Labyrinth or some variation of Labyrinth and you're ready to go to the next level, it very well may be Adventureland. The box comes with 3 different adventures, which really are just different ways to score the game and a few things of how they move. But for the most part, the game is going to play the same. There are some expansion packs out that have more adventures, and I can't really comment on them in this video because I haven't played them yet. But what I see in Adventureland, I like. Adventureland is a very easy to play, very easy to set up, and very easy to teach family-level adventure game. Now, I do need to pause and say, you're not getting Descent in a box for family here. This is very abstract. For example, you can move one way and one way down. You can't move up and you can't move to the left. You can't move up and you can't move to the left. So you're going to be very limited in what you can do. It's all about maximizing your efficiency of your movements. Now, you don't usually think about that in a dungeon explorer. And this really isn't a dungeon explorer. This is an adventure game. And you're going to be finding companions and finding swords. And you're going to be finding this green moss plant thing that I'm going to use to have superpowers, right? And you're going to use these things to fight the fog creatures. That's what you're fighting this with, the fog creatures. There is a river. You can go and get gold. And there's a river spirit who comes down and basically takes you out. And there's different ways to score. So in Adventure 1, you're scoring with gold, you're scoring by fighting the fog monsters, etc. Then there's one where you want to kind of get the people into the cities. And you're going to have this little area control over the cities. There's a little bit of a story that goes along with it. Now, Adventureland is not going to be the most thematic of games. We're talking about really what amounts to an abstract game for families, but with a whole heaping of theme put onto it. That's a huge plus. And this might be something where you can keep the rules kind of simple. You got some adventurers going out, you're getting companions, and your kids will start to pick up on the process. That's what we're doing here. I don't know if Adventureland is one you're going to want to sit around and play with your buddies. This is a haba game, but it's a little bit more than what most haba games are. They're trying to take that next step, the bridge, descend with children, right? That's what we're going for here. So I'm going to recommend this for families with younger children. I'd probably start saying 6, 7, 8, maybe up, depending on your child's, not intelligence, but how much board games they play and how well they're picking them up. Adventureland is a huge hit for us. I really like this game. I've had a lot of fun with it. I wish there was a little more variety in the adventures, but hopefully an expansion pack will be able to fix that for me. I'm going to keep this game for now as a family game, not playing this with my buddies, and I'm going to recommend you check this one out if you have any need for a game in this genre. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.